along this time.
I get reminded every week.
Sometimes Chris joins the group.
The wink at the end, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, dude! This is the best Saturday morning cartoon ever, dude." Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment, a rendition, if you will, of the PooDoo Crew. It is Sunday,
Night.
and we are here. I am with Claire. Claire.
Hi.
I am with Raven. Raven. And Chris, the Watcher Ryans himself.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Huh?
What?
All right.
You know it.
That's right. Quite a week. Big week.
Stuff happened, man.
Explosive week.
Big
A
time.
lot of screens were had with our eyes. We
I haven't
watched.
slept.
We watched. We haven't slept.
That's why I did not wear makeup or wash my hair.
We've
I have
binged
glasses on.
We've binged Sugar to keep watching things. There were 3 episodes of Andor this week. Last of Us episode last Sunday. Big one.
Yeah. Dude.
And I watched a Netflix movie.
Yeah. We'll talk about
well,
that for
so.
sure. And I have a public service announcement to
Yes.
make when we do. But
I will break down as much as I possibly can with my extensive knowledge of The Last of Us. Me and these thumbs did a lot of work in that game.
Are we starting with
yeah.
that first? Are we starting
We
with Last of Us
we
first?
should
It
probably
doesn't
start
matter.
with that first because
get it
First
out
of
of
us,
the way.
The first of us.
the first of
So-
us. Well,
All right, let me just
Not
as someone
quite.
with limited knowledge, like
Yes.
I watched the first game. I watched up
sure.
until a snowball fight or something like that
Yeah.
from the second game.
hmm
I was under the impression that the spoiler alert. No,
Sure.
no.
Spoilers, obviously.
The death
Episode two.
of the death of Joel. I was like,
Mhm.
that's not going to come till like the season 2 finale. I thought I'm going to space it out because I didn't know when it happened in the game.
It happens right
Because
away.
It happens
snowball
right-
fight.
It happens right where it's supposed to happen.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
and like last week, I was watching the episode, and then I got curious. I was like, hold on, like, all right, if she's been introduced now. I'm like, wow, when does that death happen? Or I just wanted to see because I never watched the death. So I
You
like
didn't want
paused
to
the
see.
show. I paused the show and I went on YouTube and I watched the game version
Yeah.
of the death of Joel.
Yeah.
But there was a thumbnail under the game one that was the live action one, and I was like,
Sure.
why are they what?
Why is that there?
Why is that
Yeah.
there? And then
It was there.
oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's happening now, and I was kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
Went back to the show, fast forwarded to see like, oh shit, this actually happened. Like, why is this happening now?
So
Is this
From a-
what the red wedding people? Is this what they?
yeah,
felt like?
this is the James Franco first time gift comes into play.
First time, question mark. Yeah.
Because this is our red wedding. And we said this
Yeah.
last season we were talking about this.
Hey, how many years did we wait for that second game? Do you know off the top of your head?
It was-
It was
I
like
was talking
2015,
about
I
this
think,
today.
to-
And I think it was 2015. Oh, I thought hold on. Because I thought it was 2013.
Because
The game is that old? I didn't even know.
It's PS3, dude.
it's PS3.
Wow.
Last of Us 1
Well,
is
the
Still,
one,
Grand Theft
Last
Auto
of Us
6
1 is
still
PS3.
Last of Us
got the
1
whole
is
nother-
last gen PS3, and then Last of Us
Yeah.
2 was first gen PS4.
Yeah.
Before Pro, though.
Let me
Um,
do some googling before I say some stupid shit.
Last of Us, Last of Us
Take note
1.
Life
It's
lessons.
2013,
Let
yeah.
me Google before I say some stupid shit.
Yeah, Last of Us 1 is June 14th, 2013. And
2013. Okay.
2 is 2020. Came out during
Okay.
COVID.
So 2013 to 2020, right?
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto still got us all beat.
So 2020, it was what then? What was? I'm trying to get my timing right. I think we got information that The Last of Us Part 2 was happening in, if I math right, 2015, 2016.
It was pushed back twice.
It was pushed back 2 times.
Right.
But it was, so I remember playing that game when it came out and having it, that ending of the first game, just,
Yeah.
I remember I would tell people, I mean, I'm having a jalapeno margarita, so you never know. I could be less informed by the end of the show tonight. I just wanted to start off from a place of knowledge. May not end there.
We'll see how the night goes.
Yeah. Just kidding. But no, this is an episode I've been dreading since 2020 when the game came out. 2019, 2020. What did we just say? Whatever.
2020. June of 2013 to June of 2020.
Yeah. So played the game, cracking my neck for this. And then I was told, because at the time, I talked about this a little bit on VX Gaming, but at the time I was dating somebody in the games industry who sucks. Fuck that guy. But he worked for Sony and had some inside information about projects that were happening. And so I was basically told, no, it's not happening. They're not doing part 2. They're happy where that story ended. They're happy where the story ended. But that story is so special to me, and of that first game. And it is like, if it's a movie, it's not a game. It's a movie that you play. And if it was a movie, it'd be one of my favorite movies of all time. It'd make the top 3 probably. And everybody kept telling me who had knowledge, no, nothing's happening. No, don't get your hopes up, Claire. Nothing's happening. And then E3 happened, and the song that ended this episode, the credits music for episode 2, was the music you heard in the E3 trailer where they announced that The Last of Us Part 2 is happening, and you just saw a guitar, you saw arms, you saw the tattoo, and then you hear the guitar playing, and all of a sudden you hear the singing voice. And in my head, I'm watching E3 live, and I'm like, that's not Ashley. That's not Ashley. That's not her. No. It kind of sounds like if she was, that's not her. That's not her. And they pan up, and you slowly realize that it's an older Ellie playing that exact audio, that recording of that music that was the fucking end of this episode. So, and then you realize it's Ellie, and then you see Joel, and I can't remember. There are a few times I can remember watching a piece of media or a trailer and having I sobbed.
I was there
when I realized what was going on. I sobbed when I realized we were getting a second game, and then had to wait so many years to get it. And for them to play that music after having to rewatch that moment that is so traumatic, I was like, no, we can't be. And I need to promise me, if you've not played the game and you're watching this show,
yes,
please don't give up on the show.
People are really dropping it, and it's very silly.
That's dumb.
Please
it's
don't
just
give
silly.
up on it. And I understand it.
Well, like, what?
It hurts so
And I've been,
bad.
I
get it. But you guys, it's going to a place that is such wonderful storytelling. And you just need to, don't give up. Because I hear people in my life saying, I don't want to keep watching that. No, you have to. It's so good. And freaking Neil Druckmann is a genius. And his ability to tell these stories that rip your heart out and like make you question your own biases in your own life, and make you like, just trust me, you gotta watch it.
Drucky's though. I call him Drucky. We're friends. Drucky's cool.
And Mason is unbelievable.
Greg Mason.
And then you put these clowns together, and you're like, hi, do you want to have your life completely ruined?
That's why that's funny, because they're like both really funny people. That's why it's really funny.
They bring the pain.
Yeah. They bring the pain. So that trailer was also crazy because it was manipulative.
Very.
Because Joel's in that trailer.
But
Joel's not in that scene in the game. Because we're not supposed to know that Joel is going to be going. There's 2 major trailers that have Joel in it that are not Joel in places where he is not. But he got that from Kojima, master manipulation. Half of Metal Gear Solid 2. We thought we were going to be playing this whole game of Snake, and this guy named Ryan shows up, and we're like, okay, we can walk with this for a while. Snake any moment now, and then the game was over, and you were like, wait, but it was still good. Why am I not the guy?
Exactly.
So, is there any blowback on this episode that is comparable to the blowback that the game got because
Okay.
you had to play as the person who
Okay,
killed
here's
his
the
fan
big
favorite character.
here's a difference. Here's the feels part that comes from the game. When you start playing this game, you play as Abby.
Oh,
The
God.
first person you see and the first person you see in the show, the first person you see in
Oh
this
my
game
God! So you don't
is Abby.
even know that she's gonna.
You started
We don't.
Abby.
That's not.
We don't know.
We don't
We don't
know what
We don't know.
Abby's
But you're
motives
Abby.
are. We
don't
don't
know
know
her
what
motives
Abby's motives are. It's so halfway through this video game.
Mm.
Joel.
After Joel is gone, you still don't know why she killed
So
him.
you play up to
You
the
don't
moment that
know.
you killed Joel.
1,000%.
Yep.
Yeah. You do it.
You do it.
You do it.
That's not cool.
You don't
That's
press
not
the
cool.
button
No.
when you get there.
But you get to the point, and then you gotta
Yeah.
watch that cutscene.
You gotta watch the cutscene.
It's
So
awesome. It's
So in
great.
the game,
That's
in the
incredible.
game, it's Joel and
awful.
Tommy. It's Joel and Tommy that are there for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Ellie's
And
not
then
there.
Ellie shows up where she's supposed to show
Yeah.
up.
She-
But
yeah.
there's no Dina passed
It's
out.
not Dina. Yeah.
They knocked
It's
Tommy out
Tommy.
with a fucking gun. They just
Yeah.
beat him. They just beat him.
Didn't he get like shot in the leg too?
He gets shot in the leg later.
Oh yeah. Well.
He gets shot in the leg with a thing we can't talk about because that character hasn't shown up yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Cooper, I can't.
He can't. So
it's so much.
it's crazy because the line of when Joe says just get on with it
yeah.
is more deeper in the game because
hurts so
he's
bad.
done so much fucked up shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where this is coming from.
No, he doesn't.
All
know.
he knows is that these people know his name and something he
He
could have
won't
did
have anything.
something he could have did 3 weeks ago. He's paying for instead of 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's a lie being like, I'm not here for your monologue. I'm clearly about to die.
Just
Don't even tell me why you're here. Just end it.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's
But yeah. But
yeah.
in the show, she tells him.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too. Is like, you got a week to cool off, okay? I mean,
He's done a lot wrong. He's done a lot wrong.
He's done a lot.
Mhm.
He
And
was going to
it's-
pay for something.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
Bet he wish he
This
had
story-
that fucking Beskar.
dude. This story in this game and where this show is going,
Put that
you
down.
guys
Michael.
have to. You absolutely have to stay on board with us because I think it's an important reminder that we
Yeah.
can still love people despite their flaws, but you
Mhm.
cannot let that define your actions going forward. You cannot.
You can't.
That when you are living in a violent upbringing, when you are a part of the cycle of violence, where does it stop and how and what does it take and
Revenge
what do
is
you
a
do
circle.
with this pain that you have?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Revenge is
If
a
you they shot at you, you shot back, all of a sudden we forget where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just important to be in control of your anger and be in control of your own reaction to the world around you. Because otherwise the goal here is peace, but sometimes your methods of trying to bring peace to yourself will only bring more demons.
Right.
And
yeah.
wow, this is such a good season coming up,
Just because
guys. You have no
and
idea.
The fact that within the world that they live in, humans still can't come together.
Yeah. Despite the
Despite
other
every-
monsters, they
they-
still
surprised.
cannot.
Remember,
come on,
the
common
Last of
ground.
Us 1 was
Surprised me at
20 years into
Yeah,
the.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
Anytime you have more than one human,
Yeah,
you will have
problems.
conflict,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
it's
Problems.
and then the more humans you get, the more different
Oh,
ways to
right.
have conflict or problems.
Can't stand them.
There are a lot of players.
Human beings.
There are a lot of characters in this game.
And there's so many that you guys don't know yet that
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you're gonna go for a ride.
Like
I remember after this happened, though, I put my game down and I literally, like, I went for a walk outside and I'm like, put my sunglasses on. I'm like, I don't want anybody to see that there are tears in my eyes and I just need to walk around and I need to not play this game right now. It's COVID. I can't do anything. I live alone. I need to go walk around the park and not talk to other human beings.
Yeah.
So just have your moment, go walk, and please watch the next episode.
So it's about to be
places.
A revenge tour is about to happen.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Ellie's gonna go.
Big time.
Big time.
Now, without spoiling, I'm not going to outright spoil it. Do you think she made the right decision?
It's a complicated answer.
A complicated answer.
After at the.
Oh, you watched?
Yes.
Oh, she won.
I watched every single one of.
Wait, you watched the part 2 of the game? You watched the whole game?
I watched all the breadcrumbs that she brushed away to get to the actual sandwich.
Well, it's that
was a terrible analogy, but you understood what I
literally understood. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's all. That's complicated.
That's complicated.
It's complicated. That's complicated.
I don't know.
There's a whole bunch of all right.
The end result is the right decision.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The end result, I think, is the
because it just would have picked back up again with the other person that was in that with the other person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The boat.
Yeah.
The boat.
It's crazy.
And they would have.
And you know what's crazy about that boat, Chris? What's crazy about that boat? The press start screen. Your entire game is that fucking boat.
Damn.
And you're like, what's this boat for?
Boat about?
What's this fucking boat for?
You find out what the boat's
What's this boat for? Dude, the window from part 1 comes back in this game.
Yeah.
Because it was just a window. But you're like, why am I looking at this fucking boat? And then it changes, Chris, after you beat it. And the boat is docked on a beach.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Sir. Sir.
Yeah. This game, like this story that's about to happen is you don't I can't even hype it up enough because I remember having this happen in the game and like feeling so angry and feeling like this entire rest of the game I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking play this anymore. I remember having that feeling and then you play on and then you go, oh, okay, maybe I need all sides of the story, and maybe I need to acknowledge the flaws on every side. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe I should look at this more objectively. And hey, you know what happens when you can't find a healthy way to let go of the pain? You'll blow everything up. Yeah. You'll blow your entire life up. You'll damage in the explosion, you'll damage every single person around you with shrapnel. And it is just like, whew. Anyway, therapy's cool. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, take care of
The
yourself.
Last of Us.
Watch out for the clickers.
Thank God there's a therapist in this season. Wasn't in the game. We could have used her.
No. we needed Gail more than you know.
We needed Gail so much.
Right?
Jesus.
Everybody needed Gail.
Yeah. So
Raven, did you know that was coming that quickly?
Yeah, I watched the gameplay on YouTube before it started because I wasn't sure if I was going to want to watch the show. I mean, even though I had seen the story, I mean, it was a good story and stuff, but I wasn't sure. So I'm like, well, at least I won't be completely clueless. So I had watched the gameplay. So I was not surprised. It was great and everything, but like I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I was.
This Cooper, yes.
I was. I didn't know what was happening. I just didn't know what was happening then. My man had to get back to Grogu, I guess. He's like, check me out.
I guess so.
Now.
I didn't.
He needed Sue Storm.
Did you guys see that clip of him on it's like an old clip of him at comicbook.com? Like on the red carpet where they're just like, they're like, hey, so remember when you were Oberyn Martell, that death, like I had nightmares about, traumatized?
Yeah.
Do you think anything you'll ever do will top that? He goes,
you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
possible.
You never know. It's possible.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was actually pretty funny. I mean, especially in hindsight for the people who were surprised. Hilarious. I just didn't have the connection to the game that people who played the game and like lived that whole experience.
Yeah.
I just didn't have that with it. So it's just like, yes, it was wonderful. It was great. It was powerful. I have nothing negative to say. I'm just not as invested as people who play the game. That's
and I understand it too,
deep.
because by the end of that first game, I'm literally like, this is my child. I will do anything for her.
Mm-hmm.
When you are the one who's going through this and like making the actions to do everything, by the end of it, you're just like, I will die for this child.
That's what I was going to say, because I may not have had that connection with these characters like that, but I can see, like, this is why I love, like, for not going on Star Wars, but this is why, like, I love the Inferno Squad story, because I get to play that story. I get to be in it. So that's why sometimes for me, and maybe blasphemous to say this, that's why sometimes for me, like, video games, when they have their heavy stories, sometimes they're better than the books, because you get
true. I agree.
Do the actions and talk to people and
the
make that character
so much
do all
higher.
the actions. Yeah. So I wish it hit me the way it hit y'all, but I didn't play the game. I still think that Joel made a mistake, and he paid for it plus 75 cents.
Plus 75 cents.
So
it's funny though, because in the moment when you play it, I remember being like, oh god, this is not right, but also I'm like, I have to do it. In my head, I was like, I hesitated, but I'm like, I have to do this. By the end of that game, the storytelling is so good when you are like on the sticks that it's literally just like, well, there's no choice. I have to save my kid. That's what I have to do.
Yeah,
I will, like, they're not going to do that to her.
Right.
This is ridiculous, and they're not giving her a say, and they're not doing whatever, and then you end up taking her choice away. So but it's fine.
And like how they handle the flashbacks in the game too are very potent and very sharp.
Dude, I love what they did in the show.
Yeah,
with
they could buy
the
some stuff.
hallway.
Yeah,
she walked like the whole her talking to herself. Don't go in there.
Yeah,
I was like,
because that's a big thing in the game. It's like every time she tries to walk down that hallway, it gets longer and longer and longer.
It gets longer and longer. I was
like,
I like how they did that for the door.
Yeah, and it's Dina being there this time adds to a thing that happens later. Like they wind up in like a movie theater for a while. That's like a hideout. And Dina listens to like a dispatch. And when they like knock somebody out, when they like, took one of the friends out, they had Polaroids.
Yeah.
And that's how Dina got everybody's face to name.
Yeah.
And the story was like, okay, I made a board. It was like, this one's name's Nora, and this one's name's Manny, and like, and stuff. And that's how she figured it out, because she got Polaroids from a bag. Yeah. But this time it makes more sense because it's not a game. It makes more sense that she was there, and she really has really good photo. She remembered the WLF signs. She knows what logos to look for, and now it makes her and Jesse, because Jesse's on the finds them clearly because he's going back with them. It's two horses. It's Dina's horse, Jesse's horse, and Shimmer. They're on Shimmer or whatever, and they're dragging Joel's body, which is just not happening.
New. That was new and uncalled for.
Yeah, uncalled for. Not in the game. Cool. Not in the game. Right. So now Jesse has that weight. Because it's like, okay, these people necessarily didn't blindly go with Ellie to get revenge for Joel, but they're her friends.
They're emotionally connected.
And they knew that. But now they're more emotionally connected. Dina was learning things from Joel, and Jesse looked up to Joel.
Oh, and Dina looked up to Joel too.
Totally, yeah.
So this is like what you were saying, when the first season came out, was that the creators were able to expand upon certain things that they couldn't do in the game, or just didn't do in the game.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're done with that either. They get expand on. There's so much you can expand on.
So much, and I hope that they do, because what they did with certain episodes, I know this is like a broken record thing for me, but for the Bill and Frank episode, which I think is one of the greatest episodes of television of all time. Period. End of story. No content.
Right.
Not any of it was in the game. It's based on one letter that you're
It's a
one
one-off.
note
Yep.
that you find. As if you read it, you see like, oh, I think there's something more to this
Yeah.
duo, and then
Right.
they
I
make
think
a whole
that'll
episode
happen
that ruined my
again.
life. I think it will too.
I think they're going to pull an opposite and make an actual feel good episode. And so, like, the end,
Feel
obviously.
good?
Not
The
feel
Last
good,
of Us?
but like, not. I'm using the wrong words.
It's not going to
I
be tonight's
almost said
episode.
the word whimsical.
What part of this game feels good?
I want the Archer.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's a build up to Ellie finding the bow and arrow in this game.
Like you.
And apparently, there's this Archer that was in this neighborhood that was the shit. Because all the
guy.
notes you get is like he's keeping tallies now of how well he's knocking these zombies out. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, but like, I think that would be a cool little one-off.
Mm.
I mean, they said we're not covering Ish, which is a bummer, but
Boo. Ish is the best story.
it's just the best story. But I think if they were to do the Archer, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there's so much to dig in with like the Seraphites and with where we are going that you don't know.
The
yet.
Rattlers.
The Rattlers.
The Rattlers
dude.
need so much.
Nope, they don't need shit.
Exactly.
The Rattlers need nothing.
And that's exactly why we need
I
more
need
of it.
nope. I don't want it. You can have it. You can
Yeah.
take it back. Keep
Yeah.
it away from me.
Yeah, because that shit's going to be wild. That shit's going to be wild.
No.
But we're
I don't
definitely
wanna.
getting more WLF shit because Isaac's in it, and Edgar Wright.
Oh,
And Edgar Wright is a
Unbelievable.
movie star. So
Yeah.
not Edgar Wright. Jack, what's his name? Jeffrey Wright. Jesus.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey
Edgar
Wright's the
Wright.
fucking movie
He
star.
wrongs
You know what you meant.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar Wright. Man, Charles Dickens is a hero.
Yeah. Guys, it's so good. Please watch.
Yeah,
Please don't give up on
because
it.
he is reprising his role as the voice
Yeah.
of Isaac, not
Which
the
is so
face
good.
model, but he's playing him. So
He's gonna be so good.
he's gonna be good.
He was good in the game.
He was
gonna be
good.
So good. in
And
the
remember,
show.
he's a torture artist. That's a little bit you get.
Yeah,
So
that's all.
he's
you
not.
need
He's
to
not
know.
well.
No.
He's not. It's not going to be one of them happy, cool
To be
Jeffrey
fair,
Wright.
like here's the thing: in this game, nobody's well.
Nobody's
But when
well.
we're saying that somebody is not well,
Yeah.
you should
Yeah.
have caution.
Mm-hmm.
Caution. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be good. Should be good.
Please watch it. Don't give up on it.
Yeah,
I
don't
know
give
it
up.
sucked.
I know.
We
I
were
know.
there. We
Yeah.
experienced it too. I
Yeah.
promise. Just don't give up on it.
I had flashbacks to when I was playing it, and I was like, "Come on, man!" Like
Yeah.
I literally did that. I was like, "Don't
I
make
think I
me
watched
pause
the-
my game and stand up."
I think I watched most of that episode like this.
Yeah, I was
I
just
just
like,
have occasional glances over to
it was
Ethan.
just one of these.
Y'all saw it. Yeah, y'all. I knew. Yeah, I figured y'all would see it coming. Like, shit.
Well, yeah,
Right.
certain beats happened in the story.
Well,
and I'm like,
yeah.
oh no, it's gonna
When
be
she was
tonight.
when she was like, "My friends are in the lodge," I was like, "Here we are."
Nope. All right, we're going.
As soon as she
Watch.
said "my friends in lodge," I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, we're doing this.
I lost this
Um,
bet.
The second
I-
that he found her to and the second that he rescued her, I was like, yep, it's tonight.
Because I was like, "Come on, episode 8." Nope.
Mm.
Cliff hang these, motherfucker.
I know we gotta move to Andor in a
Yes,
minute.
we
Yes,
do.
yes.
But I felt a little bit of like, oh no, is she gonna be all right for the person for Abby,
Mhm.
because that was one terrifying scene when she's behind that fence and
Oh.
all those the walkers are
And
clickers
that
or
shot
whatever
for
are
shot
like,
too.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
yeah. I
Awful.
watched him making like that was
Mhm.
crazy. I was like the claustrophobia. The
Also,
anxiety, all
shout
that
out to
stuff was
Caitlin
nuts.
Dever.
She's great.
Did that 2 weeks after her mom's funeral. Crazy.
Yeah.
How
Bananas.
do you?
Wow.
Bananas.
Because there's a thing. Obviously, I'm not like
There's your
I'm not,
emotion
I'm
right
not
there.
an actor.
Yeah,
I'd acted through college, but I'm
Right.
not. I'm not by any means. I wouldn't say I'm an actor. When you're not in a good place, and you're trying to use, it's very, very difficult when, especially when you are dealing with material that has a very current, active, open wound to what is happening in your actual life.
Mhm.
There's a very important balance between being able to separate your own personal life from what the words and the content of the scene that you have to perform are. And it's not easy. Like, it's very important, and good acting instructors make sure they're like, hey, obviously you use your personal life as to access feelings while not damaging and reopening old wounds. It's a very complicated balance.
These were not
That's
old wounds.
That's too fresh, man.
Yeah.
I remember being in an acting class my senior year of college, and some shit was going down in my personal life, and I had to do a scene with one of my scene partners, and the scene had material to do with what I was doing, and we were getting through, and we're doing the Meisner technique shit, and we're going through it and getting into it, and I'm in front of the entire class, and I'm doing the scene with somebody, and I start sobbing, and I don't know why. All of a sudden, my hands just start shaking, and I'm like, I just literally, it was the most, and it was embarrassing, and then also, like, I couldn't stop it, because it was just, like, something connected to something bad that had just happened pretty recently, and I was like, how'd she get through it?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a stupid little scene for a grade. It wasn't even a television program for the HBO, okay? Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what is that about? How? Brilliant. So proud of you. Can't believe you did that.
Also, real quick before we move on, the broken golf club in the neck was wild.
Ugh.
That shit did not happen in the game.
No, it did not. I hated it.
I was like, oh, okay. All right. All right.
But it kind of fit with, like,
Well, I'm going to go to the bathroom for a while.
yeah. It fit with a not swole Abby.
Mm-hmm.
Because swole Abby could very easily and
Beat him to
quickly
death?
beat this man to death and not take that
Yeah,
much
he's
time to do
56
it.
years old, canonically.
Yeah, this girl
With-
broke
with
the
a
club
blown-off
and had
kneecap.
to use it. And I'm kind of glad that she's not swole, because also, fuck the haters on the internet.
Well,
also, it's not important to the story.
It's
It has
not. It's
nothing to do
important.
with her character.
It's for the gameplay.
It's for the
so that she
gameplay,
can
so that you
punch
can. Oh
zombies.
shit! Ugh.
Mhm.
We're not playing it. We're here for the narrative. It doesn't matter. Don't just chill out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Watch the actors act.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All
She's
right,
great
so-
casting. She's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
So, Andor
Buddy.
premiered this
Andor.
week for some of us lowly content creators who didn't get the full series. I'm not jealous. Not me. But
It's fine.
first of all, protect this
woman.
Oh, she did.
sweet woman
Yeah, she's very
at all
sweet.
costs.
Yeah.
Abba, stop.
Please. She has to make it.
I said, ooh, someone I
has-
like that's new. Oh no.
Yeah.
In
She has to make it. All
in
of it.
my reaction video I did for the Imperial Senate podcast, shameless plug. What the moment that he's talking to her in my reaction, my thing was just like, oh my god, he's so good at this. He's so
Yeah.
good to lead.
Yeah.
If this girl dies, I riot.
Right.
Like, please tell me she makes it out. Please. Just, I need to know
Yeah.
that she's okay.
Hope that she took that 12-minute head start that she needed and she got the fuck out of there.
She better
I
have.
really
I hope
hope
we
she did.
find her on Yavin towards the end of this shit, okay?
No. I need to see her like post like Mandalorian era with like,
Oh,
like
Mandalorian.
kids.
With her grandchildren.
Yes.
Right.
And just and she made it.
As if I did all. Shoo.
Back in my day.
I need that. I need that so
Yeah.
bad.
But I thought this I've watched this a couple times now, these 3 episodes, and
They're good, man.
it is incredible. It's terrifying because of how close it hits to home on a few things.
Yeah.
You know, like when they're on that planet, what's the name of that planet? Mina Rao,
Mina
that we all
yeah.
thought was Dantooine.
Yeah.
They're talking about visas and undocumented citizens and you know, just undocumented people working on these on these lands. Man, like
I thought I had on Al Jazeera for a second. I was like, oh wait, no, this is
for
space.
real. Yeah.
Right.
Life
Yeah.
imitates art.
All day.
Also, maybe you should pay attention. So,
Hmm.
watching it.
Yeah.
I'm just
For real.
saying. Have some of y'all not noticed that you're the Empire yet? That you're an Empire apologist yet, or no?
It's
Like,
right
you know,
there.
It's out there and it's so
Crazy to me.
right in your face. Like,
Some
how
of
do you
you
not?
folks being Star
You
Wars
can't
fans.
not see it.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
It was
This
awesome.
is what it's always been. This is always the politics of Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
It's
never
always
not
been
this.
there. It's
Yeah,
always been as clear as day if you're paying attention. Like,
Yep.
there's nothing new in this. You
Mm-mm.
know.
It's
Yeah,
always
Tell you what, though, it was
Mia
shot
Mia
very
is her
well.
name. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Everything
Yeah,
was shot
I've
so
seen it.
well.
Yeah, it was.
The opener was very good. You can see where the budget went.
Yeah.
It
incredible.
was so tense, though. It was
Yeah.
so tense. I was clenched tight all 3 episodes. Like, Jesus Christ. When it was over, I felt like I had done a workout. Like, my whole body just, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a minute. Because holy buckets.
I felt like I needed to take a couple shots like Mon Mothma and spin on a dance floor with a
Okay,
DJ,
got it up.
Hold on,
disco ball droid.
Let's talk about this poor woman for a second.
Mm.
When I finished watching this, and I felt this way to a degree in the first
Generational
season,
trauma,
but this
dude.
season, like, and we're just in the first 3 episodes, and I'm thinking to myself, how did she make it to Return of the Jedi? She should have dropped dead from
Thing, though.
stress
Yeah.
and all that shit. But like whoa, like she can go from to oh god, like, you know, like, and I know
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's an act, but it's like, you know, take care of that, darling. Fuck, what's he doing here? Oh my god, what's Tay doing? Fucking Tay, liability. Like,
Yep.
Incredible.
That's such a good one, Chris.
Yeah,
That's
so
so good.
he had to go. But
It's just-
her performance,
Great.
Genevieve.
her performance was like all of them not like, oh my god, I can't wait for Forrest Whitaker to show up. But
Dude.
her performance, like, she has redefined this character to the point where, like, I want them to redo her scenes in Return of the Jedi now.
Dude.
And her just be like,
That's a-
oh Christ, there's another Death Star. Okay.
Yeah.
You
And that
But
it's
it's
really fun to
legitimate-
watch this after reading that book that just came out too.
I still haven't, Claire, I haven't finished it. I can't.
Yeah.
It's
It
too
is-
it's too real, Roy.
It is
Like,
too
it's
real. But it's very interesting going from reading that book to
Yo.
watching this season of Andor and how much of it focuses on Mon Mothma having to navigate this transition and stay in a place where she has any influence to be able to do stuff, but also have to do things that are not pro Empire under the radar while she's being tailed by security and while has people in her life that are not necessarily sympathetic
Yeah.
to her feelings about stuff, where she sees warning signs that other folks don't, because they're like, look, we just stopped the war, we're good, we have safety, we have comfort, look at that, that's whatever, but at what cost? And so she, oh my god, watch the continuation of that, this poor woman having to keep it together to navigate this world, and her children.
That would make
No,
sense. That would make sense.
No.
That would make sense. Here's it. All right.
the generational trauma.
I have been
child brides.
silently, like, sympathetic to Perrin and Leda, because Mon has to live a particular life and she can't let them in and let them know
No,
what's going
she
on.
cannot. She's keeping them
Even-
safe.
Even before Leda was born, she's been, like, you know, plotting against the Empire.
Yeah.
And so, like, she had to, like, really, like, emotionally really not be there for their family like that, because she's taking care of, you know, this one thing. She can't be fully invested at, you know, as much as she can be. So yeah, like, of course her daughter's, like, you know, going to be very distant and standoffish and everything like that, you know, and of course that the husband's going to think, the parents going to think that she's cheating and she's not invested in family and whatnot. So it's really those two against her. And but if they only knew, but if they knew, I'm pretty sure Pam would turn her ass in.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
And it's one of those things too where it's like your resentment towards me is what is going to keep you safe when this hits the fan.
Right.
Your resentment towards me and everything that I've done is a tool that could keep you safe if I can't get you out with me once this hits the fan. And also, like, think about, like, Lita as well. She's a teenage girl, and look at her with all of her friends in their matching little blue dresses who get to see her wedding gown and get to see how exciting that is for her that she's got this. It sucks. It's awful child bride shit, but, like...
Yeah.
Right.
Compared to everybody, like, oh, you get the big 3-day party and you get all this and I want to get married, all of her little teenage friends. And the actual thing is but, like, she's the center of attention right now. She's the star. She's the moment.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know it's terrible.
Exactly. So, of course, she gets mad at her mom.
Yeah.
Of course, she gets at her for being like, well, we can back out. Like, this thing that I'm finally getting, like... my moment in the fucking no.
I wish you were drunk. I was like, I want to suplex you, but that's horrible.
Ungrateful little. Oh my god! But I felt so bad because, like, also the first scene where you like, when she's at the party with Tay and whatever, the very first episode, and she's off in the corner crying because he won't hold her hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're you are literally a child. It just puts into perspective. I'm like, you're not ready for any of this. Like, you think that you want this, but you don't want it. You don't want it, girl. He don't even like you. You're set for a lifetime of cold and distant domestic partnership, but like not romantic.
Sees. But that's what she sees. So,
but she wants the romance.
I get it. But I'm just saying, though, like, if all she sees is a cold and distant relationship,
then that's what you're gonna get.
It's she might think that that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? Because isn't that the whole point of that circular pattern that we go through? It's just like what we see is what we emulate a lot of times, and unfortunately, it usually takes after you've screwed up for you to be able to truly look at it and realize, oh, I should have stopped that. I should not have repeated that. But
I hope one day she looks back on it and realizes what a beautiful act of kindness that was for her mother to say, we don't have to do this. One day I hope she looks back on it. But
she put her in that position, though.
She did.
Because
she's excited about
that funding. Yeah.
But it's I think, the whole thing with Mon Mothma and everything that we're seeing now, and not that we didn't see it in the first season, but so it's the same reason why Andor is such an interesting and different show, because anywhere there is a military, anywhere there is a movement, there are people like this, people who sacrifice absolutely everything on the altar of attaining the goal. Some of them do it by killing other people. Some of it do it by, garnering money and letting their child be married off at a far too young age.
Yeah.
These people exist, and they have existed in every conflict that has happened between humankind on this planet since the beginning of humankind. And I think that that's what's so great about this character building, because, again, we've always known that these people exist, but we follow the heroes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so this is such another path in that idea of, we're going to show you the seedy underbelly. And that's going to be what we're going to focus on in this show more than the others. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just, that's what makes it so good. But I don't think that her scenes later on that are so minuscule in the original trilogy, I don't think those are lessened by the fact that we know these things. I think it's more important for how calm she is and how steady she is, and, how very much she seemed like a much older Leia at that point. And then, when we have Leia later, it's like, yeah, that pretty much was exactly what you got. Somebody who has just seen enough, sacrificed enough, lost enough.
Still kicking.
Yeah, but and you don't get rattled because it doesn't serve any purpose.
You cannot.
Yeah, it doesn't serve any purpose. It's not going to help anyone. You can fall apart later, but right now you need to keep
keep it together.
you need to keep it together.
I'm so scared for her because this Andor has been such a blessing for us to have Mon Mothma, yay, woman number 2 in the Star Wars movies, other than Emperor. Sorry, woman number 3 in the Star Wars movies. And to have her be like, oh yeah, boss lady in charge. I'm so scared that now we're gonna know exactly how much she has to lose. Hi, Mark. That we're gonna get to watch her lose everything.
Yeah.
And I'm scared for her journey on this season. I'm very scared. I love Genevieve O'Reilly. She's amazing, and it's gonna be ouch time.
Yeah, but I think it's important to remember that these people exist. Yes. And these sacrifices are made, because often we only think about the ones who are, physically out there on the battlefield or whatever. Yeah. But
the rebellion doesn't happen without Mon setting it up, putting it together.
Exactly.
It just doesn't.
Exactly. I mean, because it starts from an idea, right? Everything does. Everything starts from a conversation between friends around a table at one point.
Yeah.
And then it just balloons from there, and gathers more people and so on and so forth. She's a little bit further along in the process of that, but the fact of the matter is she's that person right now. She's one of those people around the table, and they're having their discussion about what they're going to do, and I don't think they even realize at this point just how far they're going to have to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they just don't know that yet. And I mean, clearly we're about to find out, but at this point, it's a rebellion, certainly, but at this point they don't have any concept of how bad it's going to be later.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's gonna be a whole
they're thinking about Alderaan right now. They don't know that it's going to get that bad, and all the other stuff, but just using that as an example. But what I mean.
We haven't had Alderaan yet, though. Too.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like she's coming down the pipe. She
for
doesn't
another
know
5 minutes. Yeah.
And she doesn't know that there's going to be a Death Star, and then there's going to be another one, and they don't have, what I mean? She doesn't have that foreknowledge in this process that she's setting in motion, and that she's sacrificing so much for. And like I said, I'm not saying she's stupid or anything like that. I'm just simply saying that's how these work. Yeah. People do their fighting at their time of the battle, and then they hand it off to the next person who takes the baton a little bit further. Sometimes they let go of the baton, alive, and sometimes it's taken off of their body. In her particular case, we know.
Can we talk about Cyril's bomb scene real quick? No, you're good. I just want to talk about. It just popped into my head. I'm just so excited.
Do it.
Because the Cyril, when they were like, we can't hold it off again, I was like, it's the bomb, isn't it? It's the bomb.
Oh, I knew it right away. Right away.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I went real quick from, are we dating, to, are we meeting the mother?
Yeah. Not only are we dating and living together.
Oh my God, it's comical.
It's hilarious.
This is they're cursed, both of them, awful people,
God.
And they're cursed.
Yes.
But at the same time, they are an archetype that I ship.
Yes.
They are the meme of the sweet, sensitive, quiet men who don't speak up. Why do you date these loudmouthed women? Who else is going to tell the waitress I didn't order mashed potatoes? Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm dying. I'm dying. It's just
that man.
She has a backbone for them both.
This man had to go lay down.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go.
No. He did not lay down. He did not lay down. That man collapsed. You understand what I'm saying? He emotionally, he collapsed.
That man needed a breather.
Yeah.
He went boneless, just went bleh.
Yeah. He needed his muscle mommy to step in and take care of business.
The lean in that she did, she was like,
So
I know
bitch.
everything about Uncle Harlow. She was like,
All of the tea.
shot at the fucking key away.
Set her straight. Now, once again, it happened where I was like, let her know what's up, Dedra. That's what I'm talking about. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, you're
You
a
suck
real
too.
bad.
fascist.
You're
I
a
forgot
fucking
you're a fascist.
Yeah.
Because this happened in the first season where I'm like, get him,
Mhm.
get him, show him your
Gave her the Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's right. You're a fascist.
Yep.
Yep.
Cursed. All of
Yeah.
it's cursed.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch though.
It was
not
great
faithful
to watch.
part. It was incredible.
Yeah. And I love we're learning more about the Empire, like what they do with the children's program, which makes me wonder about her age in this story. But she grew up in what's called an Imperial Kinderblock.
Kinderblock.
Whoa.
That's what the next Tales of series should be.
Tales from the Kinderblock.
Tales from the Kinderblock.
And that could be like the Andor of the Young Jedi Adventures thing. Like,
Wow.
that same style,
Wow.
and just
Animated.
gray.
They were calling
Everything's
it-
gray. Yes.
They're calling it Star Wars Lord of the Flies.
No.
It should be animated in the style of Cabbage Patch Kids. It
Yeah.
have to look
Yes.
like Cabbage Patch Kids.
And just the
Oh,
most
Watership
dour,
Down was bad.
just gruel. They're eating the same shit that Andor was eating on Narkina 5.
Cooper.
Jojo Rabbit Star
Oh
Wars.
my god. Oh my god.
The Palpatine's Youth program.
Right.
That's just Brian. You gotta grow them up. You know, that's how they grow up. Shit.
You gotta learn.
We grew up, man.
Yeah. But I'm gonna ask this question, and I probably shouldn't. You know, this is a family show.
No, it's
and,
not. I've dropped.
What?
No, I'm just saying it's a
No
family
one's
show,
told
and
me.
these are things that we shouldn't be discussing on here. But as far as Cyril and Dedra go, I wonder
Can't wait to hear this.
what
I know exactly what he's going to say.
I mean, what's it
share.
like?
They
What's
share.
it like, man? Like, is there? It's got to be sharp.
He apologizes for everything.
Yeah.
Don't act like he's not like, oh, at every stage, he's like, oh, sorry,
Like
oh,
it's
oh.
she's like he's apologizing. She is laying down.
She's taking
law.
control.
It's like to the left. Just
Yeah.
I can
It's
picture her moving from rolling her eyes to, other things. I'm not saying.
what's it like? This isn't the first thought I had. Maybe the fifth. But I'm like, like what's it like?
This
I'ma
fucking
be
chat
honest
right
with you.
now.
Is there
with
a
two
preview
nice
show
words,
before
man.
the show happens, or is it just
That man needs two
Like a trailer?
words, like half a second of confidence from her. One sentence to be like, "Oh, good, I have a tiny shred of confidence. Now I will prove my worth to this woman." And it's disappointing,
He uses
but
words
he
that-
will listen to what she suggests, and by
Good.
suggests, I
Now-
really mean demands that he
Yeah.
do. Yes, it's
I have a
weird,
good work ethic.
but it works. And he's apologizing through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like, is it, or is it the most animalistic?
On her end, dude.
No, like what if like that's the one
Oh,
where they
he can
both
take a
like
lot
they
of rage
both
out.
let the fuck go. They just
Yeah.
They're both
and
wild,
just-
so
I'll buy
tight.
it's
it.
like-
I don't buy it. I don't think
Like a
his
rancor
attitude
and a
changes
douchebag.
at all.
See, I think because he's still so tightly wound as a human being, arguably even tighter than we saw before, I don't think anything's getting let out in that situation.
Right.
I don't know.
That's
Because
what I'm
sometimes
saying.
when you're being held back your entire life, and then like you get a little bit of leeway, and you're off to the races. So who, it's like it could be like some like
Quite the
rancor
nut.
do-back type shit. Like like who? I don't know. I'm just.
Chris.
I am intrigued. I'm like, what?
I know what Chris is saying. Chris
is-
said this could be a hard
Also-
45 to an hour situation. Easy.
Yeah. Also, dear chat, I am reading everything you're saying, and I love you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love you
100%.
guys.
Yeah. Hey, man. A lot can go down for him in Missionary.
Whoa! Look, Cyril. I bet you, bro, is. I bet you.
He apologized though.
No. I bet you.
No.
Oh, secret weapon.
Listen.
It's
no, I'm not going to say. Never mind. I'm not going to say.
I'm not going to disagree with that because that does happen on occasion.
I'm just saying, like, you never know. Like, bro could be.
Yeah.
I'll save some information for after the show ends, I guess. I'll chat with the crowd.
The actual actor has thumb rings, Claire. So he could go down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I feel like I don't feel like it's any different when he's in the bedroom as to out of it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
At this point. Because I agree with Claire. I think he's still just way too tightly wound.
He's too tightly wound. Yeah.
I think they're both going to need to get to, a different kind of climax before they get to that point.
Yeah.
Like a real life, some, not,
Yeah.
I bet you they both dress like Darth Talon.
Someone carries a Darth Talon.
Hey,
I just think she probably has extra straps for sturdiness, for durability. I believe.
Like I said, they share.
It's probably like it could be like the set from Hellraiser or something like that.
It could be some Cinnamite shit. It could be
and
some
leather and it could be.
That's him letting go.
Oh, Eric.
Cold showers in between.
Also, never. Oh God, I can't keep expanding on this. Or I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble, man.
With who?
They're like.
Who?
Do we think? There's no way he gets her off, does he?
Maybe.
I think
She's really
Brown would do it, honestly.
Yeah.
He has a high work ethic. He does
seem eager to please. And
seem eager to please.
Pleases to aim. You understand?
Yeah.
Pleases to aim.
I feel like he would take direction. Which is important.
He would take direction. Higher. Higher.
To the left.
There.
Sorry. Yes.
There.
Sorry.
I was there.
No, he does. You know what? She would not stand up to his mom that aggressively if he didn't. I don't think so. Which also, like, let's be real. We know why he likes her. I don't know why she likes him. So if he did it, then I don't think that. Like, I get it. You survived a traumatic experience together. Cool. But, like.
Listen, there was someone who.
Somebody's reaching.
Poetically explained their relationship. And I clipped this earlier today, and I just wanted to read this to you guys. It was someone named Peter K. It's on Facebook, this Rogue One Andor fan group.
Okay.
He says, I'd find such an odd beauty in the relationship between Dedra Meero and Cyril Karn. There is no kiss, no hand held tenderly, but make no mistake, this is a love story. It's a story told not through warmth, but through precision. A love carved, not grown, hewn from ice with the edge of a blade. Dedra Meero and Cyril Karn do not love as the poets would have it. They love as soldiers might admire their own polished boots. They love as a craftsman loves the feel of a perfect tool in hand. They love as tyrants love obedience, as zealots love the sound of their own sermons. That's what I grabbed from this thing, and I'm like, it's like no, there's like at least 3 more pages of this poetic genius, and
incredible.
It's
Everybody's got a different love language, I guess.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's exactly what it is. Is that some people just, they like what they like, whatever that might be, and it's
Might not
hard
be your
sometimes
flavor of
to
ice
wrap your
cream,
head
but
around it. But you have to remember that the stuff you like is stuff that someone else thinks is completely ridiculous. So that's how I look at it. Like if Cyril is what she needs, then go on, girl. I mean,
someone that tightly wound.
yeah.
You know what,
Yeah.
Chris Swift, I could see that because someone that tightly wound might get a little and go, "That's great. That's better. That's fine."
Mhm.
Yep.
Anything's better than being shroop.
Higher.
And some people just really love adulation, and
Saying.
he definitely is going to give her that if that's what she's looking for. And
Use your
we all
tongue,
know there are
Cyril.
people out there who are like that, you know.
Dear chat, I love you so
Use your tongue, Cyril. Just write your name. Just write your name.
Do the
Right,
alphabet.
name.
Do it.
Do the alphabet.
Over
Write
and
your name.
over and over.
Just count to
Oh my
27,
gosh.
dude.
Yeah, this is going into a place of Star Wars I never thought I would go, but there's got to be
I love this.
bondage in the
I
galaxy
feel like
far,
the
far away.
Imperial Senate
Like,
podcast has been
Something
brought
inside.
right here. We're keeping it #moist on Bro Axiom.
Oh,
Squeeze
God.
my thighs. Squeeze them.
Jesus Christ.
Mark.
No. Y'all.
Order 66
Execute Order 66.
Shirt
That's how you know it's time to go down
now.
on her, you know?
The time has
My Order
come.
66 shirt says "Good soldiers follow orders." So now
That's
I'm gonna
true.
read that.
I think that plays into exactly what I just said because maybe Order 66 is the time to, and you
What?
better follow it.
Pocket.
God damn it. Cool.
I'm calling the police.
Damn it.
I am calling the cops.
Oh my gosh.
Claire has left
Oh my
the
god.
building.
Which episode 3? Episode 3, or Andor episode 3? Revenge of the Sith or this one? But I'll get back to me when you can on that. But so let's get off the freak nasty shit with those two for a
Every
second.
freaking night. And every freaking. I want to know what the playlist is like.
I just.
Oh man, have you ever heard
It's
Klingon
all
opera?
opera.
Me
Yeah.
back.
Have you ever heard Klingon opera before?
No, Klingon.
It's gonna be like
It's all Mon Calamari ballet. You know the scene from episode 3?
It's the Eyes Wide Shut soundtrack. Moving on.
Oh my god.
Jedi wide shut. I will
Here it
let
is.
myself out.
Incredible.
I am
No,
also
please
friends.
stay.
I
I'm proud of
Please
you.
stay. Please stay.
Please don't give up on me. I promise I
Look at
will.
look at him.
Oh.
The chat is on fire tonight.
You guys, I need you all to know. I need you all to know how much I adore you.
Big hearts.
I'm wiping tears out of my eyes. Y'all are making me laugh so much. So thank you guys. For
First
being
try?
as-
Oh, for Andor. Okay.
First-
What?
that should be a Bro Axiom shirt. BX Gaming first try.
First try.
I'll get on it. I'll get on it.
Yeah.
What part of episode 3? Because there's so much. Are we talking about the despair to that Niyamo song? Because
Shots.
Pretty much.
Everybody.
she was like, okay, so I'm just gonna and like that dance that's not like, oh, I'm just letting free. No, that is
I'm getting shit out.
she was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
I was a college
beat.
girl once who just
Yeah.
got into a fight with someone. I was like, oh, I think that I won't have this boyfriend anymore tomorrow. Stress dance, let's go. Have a couple redheaded sluts and dance on the dance floor. That is the name of a shot for those of you who don't know. It's a redheaded slut.
She just like let it. I mean,
Out.
there's nothing she could do. She is stuck. She is stuck. She's in this, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
instead of her like breaking down and fucking crying because you can tell she's on the verge of tears, and then like at every moment, at every moment, but she's got to like keep it in as best she can.
Yeah.
And she just had to let it all out in some way, and on that dance floor. And I think like everyone was like moving in circles. I don't remember. I think she
was
just doing her own thing.
counterclockwise. She was
She
doing
was
her
doing her
own
own thing. Yeah.
She was doing the twist, and they were in sync.
She was doing the twist during the hand jive. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chubby
I
checker.
will say, Zemo dancing is still my go-to happy video because Mon is a little bit. Yeah.
Definitely not Mon. Not Mon.
Some people were saying that one made them happy, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. I'm gonna stick with Zemo dancing for happy because
what about
Zemo dancing brings me so much joy. It brings me so much joy. I can't be alone. They made an hour-long one of that too, so I can't be the only one who found that just thrilling.
Is the fact that her husband is
this is the truth there,
clueless?
Coop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cinta got in that speeder, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be gone next week.
Cinta is a T-1000.
Oh, she rocks so hard though.
She is a Terminator.
Yeah.
She rocks so hard.
And of course, I'm just watching her on Doctor Who, being a completely different person. But I'm like, that's a killer right there. Homeboy's not making it back.
Not a chance.
Yep.
How about the limo ride where they're like arguing in the back, and she's like, be quiet, they'll hear us. Like, they won't hear us, and he comes to the front seat. He has that shit on like 11.
He's listening to the whole thing. He's got to be going by now too.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to that T-shirt, by the way. For Tay, I'm looking forward to that
liability.
Shirt.
Liability.
Yeah. Liability.
I'll get on it.
Because I will wear the shit out of that shirt. I will wear the shit out of that shirt.
Make sure you check out broaximoutpost.com in a day or so, and they will be up there.
Yeah,
I promise.
Get it.
What else from this episode? All right. If
we can pour one out for our buddy, Brasso.
Oh man, they were so close. They were so fucking close. His speeder's fantastic,
right
by the
He
way.
would have just serpentined a bit.
Why did they never do it?
If he would have just Axl Rosed it a little bit and just, he'd have been
dude. I'd have been fucking drift racing
through the wheat.
Yeah.
Well, you know that, Roke, that too many people graduated from the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things.
Prometheus School of Running Away? Yep.
You had to get the one.
Why was he there?
We had the also thought of Cinnamon Sins was the big thing. And I was like, oh, my guy's a rapist. I was like,
right.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like,
you know what? I hear Jeremy coming out of my mouth when he isn't there. It's a little creepy.
If we're gonna go serious with this for a second,
yes.
Should there have been a trigger warning?
Yes.
On this episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that.
No, Mike, say what you mean.
I mean,
chesticles.
I don't know. It's I mean, I don't think so. I think it wasn't. I don't want to say the guy was brutally killed afterwards, while like in like an attempt. So it's like, I don't know.
My thing though is that
it definitely surprised me when it happened, but I was like, oh shit,
I think that like with Disney and like they tend to, in the top left corner before all of these things, a lot of them they'll say like
they'll tell you the reason why,
why the ratings are, and it was not included. Yeah, if you put smoking on there, you better put a sexual assault warning. Yeah,
or strong sexual content, or
I think it would have been a good idea because I can definitely understand where people were, bothered by there not being one, and obviously by what we saw. For me personally, it wasn't a problem, but I'm not the person you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about the person that it does cause pain to.
Yes.
And so to me, it needed a trigger warning because people who were bothered by it said it needed one. And to me, that's reason enough that it needed one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that we, when it comes to those kinds of things, I think we as a whole people, need to just accept that. Like, you know what? I didn't need it. but that doesn't mean it didn't need to be there.
Sure.
It's that simple,
Yeah.
and that's just how I look at it,
Yeah.
Have they put one on since? Has anyone gone back to watch an episode?
I don't know.
I don't know. But again, if you're gonna say smoking,
Yeah,
if you're
if
gonna
you're
do
putting the
trigger
warning for
warning for
that.
smoking, like,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm an '80s kid, and smoking was like in every scene, every character. But it's just
the
like, if
times
you're
are
gonna trigger
different.
warning that, then you should probably trigger
Yeah.
warning the rest.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like I don't think that scene was to take some of the internet critiques. I don't think that scene took me out of it being Star Wars. I think that it's that the Empire is one of atrocity, and any regime in the history of humankind that anybody has any little bit of power, situations like that happen.
It's also
And this is another branch of what I was saying before.
And she got to murder him, which is fun.
Right. But we all know that this kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
It's a part of this entire broad process.
Yeah.
And so, does it take me out of Star Wars? Not any more than every single other minute of Andor has taken me out of Star Wars.
For sure.
Because Andor is a completely different animal than anything else that we've seen.
A lot of
so it's like, it didn't take me out of it there. If it was suddenly in the middle of Return of the Jedi, I would have been like, whoa.
Sure.
What the fuck? Again, keep in mind that in season 1, in the very beginning of the series, we see him cold-blooded kill 2 people.
Yeah.
Shot him in the face.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if that didn't take you out of it, to the point where you stopped watching, I don't know what else.
Yeah. It set the tone.
Yeah, it set the tone for that this was going to be talking about those ugly sides, and the fact that has to happen in conflicts like this. It happens everywhere, and no one is immune to it.
No, and the whole thing is that this scene, this situation, and the rest of the show, it is people standing up.
Yep.
When shit like that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's, you've got to. Absolutely. It's just one of those things where it's like, the world is dark. You need to stand up for what is right. And you need to stand up for yourself. Yeah. And terrible things happen, but you got to fight against the terrible things.
Right. And all the terrible things we do are, are in retaliation for these terrible things. He's not just randomly running out and killing people.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I love these Disney Plus shows is, like, for some of the people who were saying, like, like that one dude, Darth Vader wouldn't condone this. Darth Vader, shut up, stupid. But they blow up planets. They're going to... But the one thing I love about these shows is, like, you've got the saga, and that's like a wide view of everything. Right? And when you get these shows, it's like having a cell phone and you just keep enlarged so you can get the finite detail. And that's what we're getting with this. Like, for people who think the Empire wouldn't do this, like, we don't get to look deep enough. Now we do.
Yeah, and they would absolutely.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
Yes, they do this, and it happens everywhere in every situation like this. And there's no getting around it. You have to accept that that's the reality. But again, that's why you fight, as Claire said. Right. You don't just take it, but you can't. Yeah. You literally cannot stop it from happening because, again, as I said previously, if you have more than one person involved, there's going to be conflict.
Yeah.
And the more people you have, the more conflicts you have, and everybody reacts to conflict differently. Everybody reacts to leadership positions differently. You know what I mean? It's just, and that's just a basic reality. We're 4 people right here, and I bet you would find all sorts of different levels of leadership amongst the 4 of us. And that's just because we're 4 different people. You know what I mean? And so I think that also has to be kept in mind too, is that, there are people, so there will be conflict. There is never going to be utopia so long as there's more than one human involved. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to tell you.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, too. It's like
Yeah.
Tony Gilroy had a really good quote about this particular thing, and it was trigger warning, which I'll give because it's a little bit, it sucks to think about, but it's true. And because of the history, especially if you think of the history of human beings, back thousands and thousands of years ago, you'd raid a village, you'd win the battle. There's things that happen from that. There's not a single human being on this planet, and he's his words, not mine, but I think he's right. There's probably not a single human being on this planet who cannot include sexual assault in their genetic tree at any point. That's that's a fact. That's what humans have done.
Yep.
It's a part of human nature. And
It is.
if we got humans in Star Wars, it's a part of human nature. You have a little bit of power, you win the battle, you get a little big for your britches, and some people take advantage of that situation and know what we do. We bash their fucking brains in.
It is usually
That's what we do.
people in these type of situations, in these like it's a
In
trope,
power situations. Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
unfortunately a trope that happens in these movies where people who are winning are alone with someone who needs information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go up above and beyond, even if it satisfies them.
Mm-hmm.
But how you handle it,
Yep.
it's what's important. You know, that dude didn't walk out of there like
He didn't walk out of there.
yeah, he didn't walk out.
No,
of there.
he did not.
Back in the day, is either a man shows up to save her,
Right.
or he's successful, doing adjusting his belt, and then he gets revenge by the woman, or she kills him crying
Yeah.
while holding herself, her britches, whatever. But she was like, "No, this is Bix we're talking about."
She
So,
stopped that shit
she
before
stopped
it
that shit before it
happened.
happened. Yeah,
And I
She
think
stayed for it.
I do want to say, and this is kind of separate from Star Wars, but I just want to say before we move off of this part of it, do not ever discount someone's opinion about a trigger warning. Don't ever treat it as a joke. It's not a joke. It's a real thing, and they should be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough not to need them, just be
Lucky.
grateful and continue to take seriously other people's feelings about it, because that's what it comes down to. That's important. So whatever discussion we're having tonight, we are not in any way, shape, or form saying they don't count, they don't matter, they're not important. They do, they are.
Yeah.
So on. Anyways, go on. Sorry.
Also, murder that guy.
Yeah. Like she should have hit him
Yeah.
in his second head a couple times too.
He should lose that before the end.
Like just hit him right in the dick. Like just
Right.
Some business
Should have
needs to be.
strapped his butt to the ground near an anthill and removed a couple of inches of skin and left him there.
And here's why those Imperials are all like fucking cowards and a-holes. That driver, when she said
It's a real
he
thing.
tried to rape me, he was like, he didn't even give a shit about that
No.
part. He was like, oh, well, she's
No,
dead.
he's dead.
I'm like, and I'm all for one, like when it comes to black people in stars, I'm like, I hope they live. I was like, shoot.
I
this
was like,
motherfucker.
"Kill
Get
this
him.
nigga now."
Get him.
Get him, please.
Get him out.
Like, he can go. I don't need his action figure. He can go.
Yeah, it's time for you to go, driver man.
Yeah.
Right?
You and your dumb ass
Deuces.
pack. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out. Bye,
You look
bitch.
silly as shit. Kill this man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're such cowards. Like when you can tell, like it just like when we were on Narkina 5, and there was like the minimal staff, and they were all scared the moment that these prisoners started to fight back and whatnot. They had all the power. They had the electrified floors and the batons and the guns and all that stuff. These soldiers, when they were at I think Kellen, I think that's the name of the guy. When they were at his shop, and the moment they heard there was a little bit of trouble when it came to like Bix's place, they were all shook. And they're the ones with the guns in their hands. They're the ones that are the enforcers and they're just bullies. They are coward bullies.
Like
And they'd be given a badge and a gun, hitting a little too close to home again. But it's like, this is why they lost, because there are people in the rebellion. They're no cowards
no.
No.
in the rebellion.
Nope.
No.
But
There are
that's
people who
the
are
whole
sticking
thing.
power.
you know, in those situations, you know, people don't know who they're dealing with. They don't know, you know, Bix is Bix. You
Right.
know, like we know, but you didn't know. You know what I mean? And that also is part of it, though, because they feel that power and that entitlement and that belief that they are owed in some way, only to turn around and find out, oops, I picked the wrong one. And in this particular case, he paid high, thank goodness, because he
Thank
deserved it.
goodness.
But you know what I mean? It's just like it's in that sense, it's even more weird because it's always these bullies and cowards,
Yeah.
and they just keep casting to find one. And every once in a while, they hook a barracuda, and they're like, well,
Ooh.
not good, not good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at how bad they are. We should be. No, you're the aggressor here, dick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I wonder what's going to happen to. All right, so we know Will and Andor and Bix got away.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen to that family now. You know, and I know that Brasso did his
He
best
tried
to like
cover for him.
Yeah, but there's a death. Someone's got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's gonna be unfortunate. You know how the Empire rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not going to be someone's got to pay. You know that
Right,
that's
right,
not
right.
how it's going to work out.
Everybody's
It's
gonna
going to
pay.
be a bunch of people have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem with that kind of behavior by groups in power is that what ends up happening is the 1,000 people that they're trying to make a point to, there's going to be 3 or 4 people in there who won't be deterred.
Right.
And they'll be the people at the end, you know, shooting stuff into exhaust ports.
Yeah.
That sounded so much dirtier than it was.
Considering the conversation that we just had a
Yeah.
moment ago.
Sorry.
Yes. This is
My mistake. I apologize. Kid friendly and everything.
incredible. I've said this multiple times in the past.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mother, you're tripping.
Oh,
Hilarious,
no.
dude. Hilarious.
Set her ass
Straight.
Mm.
Also,
So here's the
space
plan.
dude.
She's like, he will see
Here's
you
the
once a
plan.
month. He will call you. I was
Right.
like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
rules.
He will call you.
He's like, oh,
to call you.
that's rude. She's like, I'm not done. She's like, oh,
Little one,
yeah.
listen, you
Yeah.
muppet.
Set her straight. That was, and you know, again, I was like, yeah, there you go, Dedra. I'm like, yeah, but you're,
but
damn
you're
it. You work for the Empire.
The worst
Everybody's
person we
trying to
know
say,
did a
yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's crying now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're all crying. Yeah, Andor, man.
Great.
Andor,
That was a
man.
great line. That was Brian. That
Hilarious.
was a great line.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Nikki Kumar for
Yeah, that's a
promoting
good
the
one.
Imperial Senate podcast live stream with this exact quote.
Mm.
Like, how much anxiety you bring to the chat is how much engagement we show.
Yeah.
Indirectly
Oh.
proportional.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
She knows now.
She does know.
She knows.
She knows.
Well,
It was
and
good
you know, not
good
to
to see.
not to bring it back, but after she did that for him,
She was so pleasant.
what was it?
Chris,
How was it like that night? I mean, like, there had to be like, it had to,
He's got one thing.
she like it's just
I'm trying so hard not to like, steer it right off the road, and Chris is like, "Here, give me the wheel."
I'm so intrigued, and I don't know why. Like it's just, this is the weirdest couple, and I have to know if this isn't like some Harley and Joker shit. Like this is
No.
yeah, this is some other shit, and I
No.
have to.
Authoritarian Barbie.
Authoritarian Barbie is so funny.
So true, so true.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
He may have did a good job that night.
Oh, look, man.
He
Thank you,
did.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
That's
thank you,
so
thank you.
upsetting.
Said so
No.
much.
Huh?
That's so upsetting.
he put in some
Yeah.
effort.
He helped.
He helped.
He helped today. You did good. You almost got in there, buddy. You did good. Oh. I'll give you a hug. Come here. Who's my big man? I'm your big man.
I'm just here for the chat.
Oh,
I'm
Brian,
just here.
Brian,
Get
Brian.
the good lube. Yeah.
Yeah, go get that.
32 outs.
Go get that Naboo shit. Yeah, get
that
that.
Naboo shit.
Fire
Overall.
ice, baby.
The Naboo.
You just said fire and ice. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Yes, that.
This is the top shelf shit. Yeah, it's
Oh, I can't.
It's in a blue bottle.
Hey, yo.
no, that bottle has its own repulsors. Like it floats. That's how it keeps its viscosity. It floats.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have liquor, but
My margarita's gone. I need another one, damn.
God damn.
Too many images in my brain.
Fire and ice.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Okay.
cool. Oh. Oh.
I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
That is perfect.
Okay.
That is
The crew has
perfect.
gone way off. Okay.
I want to, just real quick. I want
I
to
hate-
apologize for
You did this. You did this.
Doesn't mean
bringing it
that
off the rails.
lying.
Every now and again, it's me who's going to bring it off the rails. You know, I'm, you know, my track record is good, and I'm proud of myself for not doing this often. But this
train is T-bone.
warranted a conversation. Is what I'm saying. It needed to be talked about. How?
You're the
Like,
one who keeps us together, man.
Like, you're supposed to be the adult here. What the fuck?
What happens?
what happened?
Without Dad to tell us to rein it in.
Right? See?
Without Dad to tell us to stop playing ball in the house. Like,
Exactly.
This is the one
Exactly.
time
We
where
depend
Dad's
on you. And you
drunk.
I
just
would like to state right.
Dad's drunk. Play ball in the house, kids. I'll play with you.
I don't give a shit. Let's go. Woo! You know what I mean? So that's what's
Playing
happening.
hockey indoors. Don't tell your mother.
oh my gosh.
Jesus.
But
Yeah.
no, stop. Stop.
Stop.
Okay, and with that, we are going to come to a close of this week's PooDoo. Claire, buddy, where can they find you?
You can find me, unfortunately, thinking too long about what's going on behind closed doors in Daedra's and Cyril's house. You can also
Fire
find
and
me.
ice.
Fire and ice, baby. You can also catch me doing reaction videos for each new episode of Andor on the Imperial Senate podcast, and each week we're also going to do a live show to Nikki and I to talk about the
It's probably
episodes
very
of the week.
clean. It's probably very precise and clean. Is what it probably is.
A
I
dab
can't.
will do you.
There's something that popped in my head. I can't say it. I can't say it on the stream. I can't do it.
I'm so sorry. Jesus. All right.
You can also please go watch Andor on Tuesday nights, because we're no longer doing BX Gaming on Tuesday nights through Andor. We're gonna be on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Roke and I are playing Uncharted.
Yeah.
It's so I haven't played it in a really long time, and we started playing it, and I just started the game. I was like, oh, I forgot how fun this shit is, man.
Yeah. Come on down.
No, Cooper. All right, I'm not reading the chat for the rest of the plugs. Follow me everywhere at C-Strips to see what I'm up to. But Sunday night shooting the PooDoo, Thursday nights BX Gaming. I love you guys very much.
Raven. Where
Yes.
can they find you?
Vulcan Raven.
You really can't find me anywhere. Like, occasionally I pop up on threads and say something silly, but don't look for me. It's a bad idea. Don't look for me.
Raven's just like,
No.
No.
Do all of it. Do all of it.
And Chris, Chris, Dirty Minds Ryan.
Yo, hey, all right. It was. I was intrigued by a subject. You know.
Oh, you know never put up with squeaky springs. That would never happen.
This man.
Sorry, Chris. Go on.
This man wants the Skinamax version.
Don't squeak.
I don't want anything to do with that version.
That bed.
Keep it away. I don't need it.
That bed, just like the Naboo lube, they have repulsors, so it floats. It's like
Naboo lube. It's my new favorite 2 words put together.
Naboo.
Yeah.
Nabloob.
No, I can't.
Damn it, it's a marketing project now. Fuck.
Oh, there's gonna be a jingle.
Try new Beskar Steel. You'll love the way you feel. This is a show about Star Wars.
Oh,
Imperial in the sheets and Imperial in the sheets.
Yep. Oh Lord. So yeah, you can find me. You know what? Hold on. Don't worry. It's not gonna get creepy this time. It's not gonna get freaky.
Yes, it will, but not in the way you're talking about.
No, it won't. I swear. But it's like I can't escape certain things when it comes to Star Wars.
Yep.
Apparently, they always want to attack my arachnophobia.
Same.
And when you bring this shit on,
No.
I was like, come on, are we? I'm like, really? Are we really doing this?
Covered, man.
What's wrong with Spider?
A lot.
Shoot it with a weapon.
No.
Spider.
Remarkable comment. Oh my God. Make it stop.
We love you guys so much. May the force be with you always. God damn.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. We hope you had a good time. Are you digging this song? Kinda dope, right? Laughs with the crew, keeping it fly. Please like and subscribe. Don't be shy. Check out PooDoo Croo every Sunday night. Other shows waiting, they feeling just right. We have a Patreon, come join the page. Support the